Hi guys, Sarah the Northwoods Stitcher here. I hope my AC in the background isn't too loud. I can hear it, but it's been struggling today. I did remember to turn it on before I came up because I think the thermostat said it was like 86 up here. This is like an attic space because it's above our garage. So it was smart that I turned it on well before I came up. I have so much to show you that I'm going to be a little probably unfocused today, not remembering where things came from. But we are back from camp temporarily and we'll be going up again. So I'm going to try again to film a whole bunch of little things and have them kind of, the videos kind of waiting in the wings so I can release them if I don't make it back in time kind of thing. So you guys might remember we had something Amazon days. I don't remember when that was. It was sometime when we were up at camp. And I found this cool little container. And I can't remember the price of it. You can't get it now for this price. And it was full of the little quilt clips that I use when I'm making sewing things. And they're just really handy. I can't remember how many were in here. You don't get to pick the tin of your choice. This one's a little odd because it says cake. It has a picture of a cake, happy every day. Love you all over it. It's kitschy, but what a great little thing to keep these in, especially if I need to take it downstairs and Stuart can't get into them. So I'm really happy about that. Stuart, by the way, had a physical on Monday. I'm filming this on a Wednesday. We are going to release this on Monday. And Monday should have been just a great day for him to show off, but he woke up sick. We had traveled back home that Sunday, and he was having a total Garfield Monday. He was very, very ill. I think it was a combination of the car ride home and possibly overeating once he got here. So we've been watching him carefully, slowly getting his system back up to speed. But he did get his physical done. He did perform. Let him out of the little crate in the exam room when nobody else was in there, and he went stomping around the room growling. He was growling so loudly we thought it was a dog on the other side of the door. It was really strange. And we thought, is he getting aggressive now? I mean, this is very strange. Soon as the vet and the tech came in, he was all lovey-dovey again. Very sweet. He got his big boy injection, so he's good for 3 years, which is wonderful. And hopefully, knock on wood, we won't have any health problems with him. Except for his minor tummy upset. We did ask about a travel med, so we'll see. We got something. It's 4 tablets. We're supposed to snap them in half. So we've got 8 doses, and it was $40. Not too happy about that, but we'll see if that helps. While I was up at camp, when I went up to camp, I stopped at Goodwill up there. I had lunch with my friend Ken. And I have stuff I have to show you from the Grimalkin, when Ken and I met at lunch, went to Goodwill. What else happened? So many things happened. I bought things on Etsy, which I probably shouldn't have because heaven knows I have enough charts, but I really have to show you some of these charts. Oh, and I got some happy mail from my friend Judy. Remember I said I always wanted a tinsel tree? I got a tinsel tree. She sent me a mini tinsel tree, complete with a color changer. That doesn't work so well in the daytime, but it does at night. I've been keeping it in this little kind of wood chest that I found at Goodwill because I don't want Stewie chewing on this. But I think I have a little glass dome up here that I can actually put this under, and then I can look at it and figure out what other things I want to put on it to decorate. It's just silly cute. This actually works. You turn it on at the base, so it has a little light. You wind it up. So it actually works. That was so fun to open up and put together. When I went up to Goodwill, I took the sticker off. Maybe I have the price somewhere. Maybe I don't. I found this cool little wooden chest. I'm not quite sure what it was for. It does have some sort of embossed depression in the corner here. I can't quite make it out. It's not going to work. My eyes aren't going to do it. But what I liked about this, it's a hinged box. It's very deep. This is large enough to have a seam that either goes around 3 sides or all 4 sides at a certain width. I could also do a little stitch band at the top, and I can also decorate the top. So I was really excited to get that. I see this with some sort of fall color design, and it might even be something like a little Quaker stitch band that goes around it. I haven't completely figured out what, but that's what I see, without having to refinish this box because it's so dark. I'm probably going to go with the fall themed colors. So that was an exciting find. I don't know what I'm going to put in it yet, but I did like how it was made. It's just a very hefty box, very thick. Ooh, sorry for that. I don't think this is going to be in any kind of order, you guys. Also, a Goodwill up. That was Goodwill in Ellsworth. A Goodwill in Bangor. I found these interesting ruler frames, which I thought would really be cute for a sampler. Now, I don't remember if these were $3 each or if they were half price. But what a cute frame design. And it just has the sliding back tabs. I don't necessarily need the back for this. I can do whatever I want with some foam board. But I'm really excited to put these in my collection. And if I don't have any real idea for them, I can always cut them up and make them into some really cute, smaller boxes or stitch related things. But I thought that was a fun find. Too often those designer frames are just out of my league. I found a really cute, clean Santa tin. That's definitely a classic Santa. I liked the shape of this. When I opened it, it was extremely clean on the inside. I might turn this into like a little sewing buddy next to my table at Christmas. I'm not really sure yet. I may even use it just to house some gifts because it is so pretty. I took the tag off. I left the receipt downstairs. I'll have to figure out what that was. Oh, here's the back to the other frame. I don't even know what I have. I've got so much stuff to show you. And it's really just been piling up. Ta-da! This was fun to find. This was $2.50 for 2 Santas. I haven't even opened them yet. I just looked at them through the bag and I thought, yep. They aren't anything fancy. They're not wood or anything. They're just one of those poly resins. And I think they even came from the Christmas tree shop. Yeah, there's Christmas tree shops on the bottom. Little tags. But these were awfully sweet too. Sturdy. They stand up fine. Probably need a bath. So that's something I'll do, probably up here, and then put them straight into a Christmas pile. Great accent pieces. I also found it's a box that looks like a book. But wait, there's more. Another book. But wait, there's more. Another book. Very clean. I wish I'd left the tags on them. In this type of heat, though, I like to get the tags off quickly in case there's any kind of, I don't know, melting that might damage the paper. So I know this one was marked something like $18 or $20. That was the original cost. Now, I don't recall what I paid for them in Goodwill, but the total of the 3 boxes at Goodwill were less than half of one new one. So I think it was $6 or $7 for all 3, which is fine with me. And lately, I've been seeing a lot of negative content, whether it's a video or an article about Goodwill. I don't know if people are unaware of what things that Goodwill does as an organization. I don't know why suddenly people don't realize that the price of everything is going up, and it's not just you that's paying more for your electricity, or more for your rent, or more for your mortgage or insurances. But yeah, prices at Goodwill have gone up, and it's been like that for years. I've noticed that probably 4 years ago, there was a massive spike in their prices. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop shopping there. It doesn't mean that they are gouging. It means you need to know what your prices are. There's nothing there that they sell that you actually need. It's not like they're selling us oxygen. So I just don't understand this whole negative content that's out there about such a company. I'm going to continue to support a company that helps recycle things instead of promoting, just buying more Chinese-made stuff at Target or Walmart. I'm going to go to Goodwill first. I don't need to have plastic Santas. I don't need to have cardboard boxes that look like books. But if I do want to have those things to decorate with, to cut down on my use of wrapping paper, I'm going to purchase them in a secondhand place if they're clean. So that's why I'm going to continue to shop at Goodwill and thrift stores in general. Thrift store prices, privately owned thrift store prices, are just as expensive these days. But this is what we do if we want to continue to promote reusing something and giving it new life. I am going to go buy a shirt for $7 used instead of $38 off of a rack somewhere. All right, that's enough of my grumbling. I think I showed you guys some wool that I bought from Wool Ease up in Maine, up in Machias, up in Maine. I'm in Maine. So this was the shop that I had to go to again because I'd run out of a color on the wolves, believe it or not. So DMC, it's a gold collection kit, right? And they do use DMC colors, but they use dimension codes next to those colors. If ever you're working on a kit, Busilla, trying to think of the other ones that I've seen, Dimensions. There's a couple of other kits that they have. Busilla, Candamar, is that how it is? You can go on cyberstitchers.com, or you can just type in your Google search or your internet search, floss conversion charts. And sometimes, I know that Cyber Stitchers has kits to DMC, and they'll list the kit name, and you can look up what code they've given you and how it compares to a DMC that they use. So that's what I did out of desperation. They gave me, I think it was 2 different colors that it could be. So I just went to Woolies and I bought both of those DMC colors, came home and decided which one was the closest. But while I was there, I got more wool. I found this great pumpkin color for $6. It's pretty big. 2 of those. I got a nice red, which I thought would be great for hearts or apples, or even a red pumpkin next to some orange pumpkins. And look at this thing for $1. What? I thought this was great. And it's plenty big. So just some absolute fun things to have when I start playing around with my wools again. I can't wait for colder weather. I don't know about you, but I don't do this heat. While I was at Woolies, I found out that they have started to sell, thank you to the university up there, a lot of the college students are getting into embroidery, especially the shishiko embroidery, which is the Japanese embroidery. So she's starting to carry the shishiko threads. Now, somewhere in this chaos, I have some shishiko designs that are pre-printed to stitch. And I know that one is going to be a red work and one was going to be a blue work. So I picked up some threads, real shishiko threads to do that with. You don't separate these. It's just a single strand, almost like a yarn, but it is cotton. It's 100% cotton. So I'm excited to play with that when I'm organized. And then another wonderful buy. You guys aren't going to believe this. Got this on Amazon. Multiple packs. So I have 5 packs. Each pack houses 15 Snag nabbits. Do you know what the Snag nabbit is? I think I've spoken about this before. It's a great tool to have. I thought I would buy a whole bunch so I could go ahead and make up some little felted shape, whether it be a heart or a star, to stick this in so I can gift it sometime at a retreat. The price was really good, and I don't recall what it was off the top of my head. So each little container has 15 of these. Now these Snag nabbits are really important to have in your stitching because one side is a needle, or one end is a needle. How am I going to show this? And the other end is all twisted, almost like a screw top. That's not going to work. This might work. Ah, you can see that. So what happens, and this end is sharp. That's the curly end. If you're stitching something and maybe one stitch was a little too loose and it's kind of sticking out, you stick this through the top of your thread, or your top of your fabric, and it just kind of gently pulls. You can twist it. It'll gently pull that single thread tighter through your fabric. Or say you're stitching and a tail end from underneath your fabric gets pulled up accidentally, and you just can't get it to go back down underneath to be on the back side of your fabric. You can stick this through the top of your fabric and it'll pull that tail back through to the back of the fabric where it belongs. So that's why it's called a snag nabbit. You snag it, you nab it, and you pull it through. Now I have seen them at sewing shops, and I want to say they were at least $5 each. So it was really neat to find a bundle And I'm so thrifty. You know I didn't spend too much on them. I just don't remember what I spent on them. Maybe I can look it up. And I'm pretty sure they called it a Snag nabbit. Let me pull up my orders really quickly. I can guide you if you're interested in buying one. The other problem with these things is that I lose them because I put them in different little sewing kits. So you can find these Snag nabbits if you Google search under Amazon, Snag repair, needle repair, knits, and whatever. Just put in Snag repair, needle repair, something will pop up. It was $5.69 for 15, which is pretty impressive, considering they're usually $5 or more each. And then there was some sort of deal where I saved 30% at checkout. So I might go back and get some more, just because it's such a wonderful little gift. And you know, this is kind of hard to gift to somebody unless you have individual containers. So what I would do is cut out a little piece of felt, a little shape, and kind of put it in there, and then probably put that felted shape either in an organza bag or on a little card so it's safe and nobody's going to poke themselves. We'll see how I decorate it. But I have to remember to put these in a pile where I also house things like the scissors that I get at mass quantities. I'll go on the other side. Guys, I wanted to show you. I told you a couple of videos ago, I'm going to show you something, but I can't talk about it right now. But I broke a couple needles on this project. So let me see if I can find these pictures here. Hopefully I didn't put them somewhere special. I might have shown you this kit. Now, this kit was given to me, and I showed it in a video, by my friend Ken, who just found it too fussy to stitch. He started it. I don't know if he broke a needle. I know I broke 2 needles, but he wasn't up to it. He said, I don't like stitching on wood. I don't enjoy this. Would you like to stitch it? So I started stitching it, and I really, really liked it. And I didn't think I would because it was floral. But it came out absolutely gorgeous. Hopefully I'm putting up bigger pictures here. And it's just a thread keep. Absolutely beautiful colors. Turns out not all the holes are filled. So I think they have the machine that actually makes the holes in the wood. And then they somehow devise the pattern. I'm really not sure how that happens. Now this is a company called Wonder... I'm going to forget what it's called. I want to say it's Wonderland Crafts. Wonderland Crafts. And I want to say they're out of the Ukraine. Now, even the back piece was embossed. It was just beautifully done. So they actually give you 2 pieces of wood. The top piece you stitch on, and then the back piece you sandwich it together, and then you stitch all the way around the outside of the heart and the inside of the design. So if you look more closely, you can see the stitches. And I was, believe it or not, able to hide that little tail end, which was really a sweaty job for me. I was holding my breath thinking, I can't do this. So the short end of the story was, I did it, and I thought it was so beautiful. I need to give it back. He bought it because he loved it. He thought it was pretty. So I gave it to him at the Crafty Grimalkin when we met last month. And I said, look, I know that you gave this to me, but I need you to enjoy it because it's just gorgeous. Display it. He's like, I don't use thread keeps though. And I'm like, it's art. Just display it, keep it, enjoy it. And thank you so much for letting me stitch it. Well, didn't he turn around and give me another one? So now I have one to do and keep for myself. Isn't that pretty? And it is big. It's not the same size as the heart, but it's a substantial piece. I'm looking forward to this, but I'm not looking forward to going through my needles. Maybe I did something wrong. I must have been going at an angle or something. I don't know. Wonderland Crafts, or wonderland-crafts.com. Go to the top of your browser to change it to English. They have some great sales, and they have some extraordinary 3D things, a lot of different accessories for sewers, but also a lot of display pieces that you can stitch, ornaments, 3D ornaments, a lot of fun. My friend who is going off to, well, she's not going to see this. She's leaving for Germany today to go visit her family. Hi, Alex. And I don't think she'll be watching this when she's in Germany because she's going to be so busy. When she gets back, we're going to make a purchase, I think, off of their website. I think if you spend a certain amount of money, it's free shipping. And we looked at each other and went, yeah, just before Christmas. So we'll see. I'm really excited to start this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't even opened it yet, so I don't know. It must come with all of the things that you need. Anyway, I'll show this to you when I'm done with it. Speaking of Alex, she gave me this beautiful little pillow that she made for my birthday. I don't think I showed it because I only got it when I was just up at the Grimalkin for a stitch group. Isn't that sweet? And I love this double charm on the gourd pin and the lace. And look at the pad or the fabric in the back. It's just gorgeous. Busy buzzing bee. It's so sweet. I've been getting a lot of bee-themed things, and I didn't realize that they were so prominent in my stitching, but I guess they are. And I just love this one. This is such a great color because I can put it out in the spring, I can put it out in the summer, I can put it out in the fall. I don't mind bees at all. I do mind the flies around here. They're pretty bad. But it's just so sweet. Now I can take this downstairs and put it back on the shelf. Ah, here's another cutie. I got this at a Goodwill. Who can't use a box? I don't think anybody's used this. But I did like that it had this little nameplate in it. So, something hopefully to get me organized. What else was there? Oh, and when Ken and I were at the Goodwill in Ellsworth, at lunch we were talking about a cross stitch he had done. And I saw this probably back in, was it 22? I don't know. It was at a Stitch Maine retreat. I think it was when I first met him. So maybe it was 21? Or was it 22? 22, I think it was. Must have been. He had stitched this outline of Maine, and he mounted it on a board that was outlined, an outline of Maine. I have since given up on trying to find the pattern, so I went ahead and bought another one recently, and I wanted to show you guys. This was an Etsy purchase. So that's the one that I chose to do. And didn't he find this at the Goodwill? I know, right? We were talking about it like 40 minutes earlier at lunch, and then he found the board. Now, I do have another board, but it has this tile, round tile glued to the front, and I have to chip off the rest and I have to put it through a sander. Well, here it is. I can just start it whenever I want now. This was $6. It was definitely worth buying. It's cheaper than a frame. So I'm really excited to get that. And this actual design will be very easy to modify to fit the board, because I can simply take off a few of the rows to make it fit perfectly if I wanted it to fit perfectly. Couldn't believe it. What were the chances? It was a statistical anomaly. That's what I said. And there's no hanger on the back, but I can put a hanger. This was definitely a cutting board that was abused. It looks like it's got stab wounds in it. But that should be so easy with just like a light sanding. The actual edge of it's green, so I think I'll probably leave it or paint it blue. This will be a good time to show you some of the other things I did on Etsy. I went and got a new pigeon coop, and I have to blame Helen D for this. I saw hers, and I just couldn't resist. I kept telling myself I was going to stitch for my book, stitch for my book. I had to go get this one. Isn't it gorgeous? And what was the other one I bought? This was another pigeon coop. Had to have this one. This is called Wintry Wax Wings, because I love cedar wax wings. Absolutely gorgeous. And a great hoop finish. So I might have bought that one too. Then I bought, I don't recall what Etsy store this was. You might be able to find it if you search sampler scissors. But when I saw this, I immediately had to have it. I don't think I can make it fit that way. No, we're gonna have to look at it this way. Isn't that great? Maybe I can put the picture up. Might be easier. I really think I'm going to do that in a dark blue. It's gorgeous. And that designer, her name, Uliana, Uliana, Uliana or Uliana Bilyk, B as in boy, Ilyk, Bilyk. So what I liked about the design was all the scissors. And if you haven't gotten a pattern from Etsy before, that is a PDF, don't panic. You can download it to your device, a phone, an iPad, or a computer, and then you just simply print it out. And if you downloaded it to the wrong device that doesn't have any printer capability, send it to another device which does, if that makes sense. So I can actually print right from my phone with my printer. So when I'm ready, and I shouldn't even say that because I am getting start-itis to like start everything I see. I have to slow my roll for that. So those are the purchases that I downloaded and I haven't printed out yet. How about the ones I printed out? I don't know where this one came from. Ulysses Blue Stitching. This is the Alphabet and Bird. I just thought that was a great alphabet. That font is crazy. And of course, it's got a little red bird or cardinal. No, 155 stitches by 89. The conversion here, if I did it super tiny, like on an 18 count, it would be 8 inches by almost 5. That would be fun to do. That would make a cute little pillow. Or I could go a little bigger. They give you all the conversions in the chart. They give you the black and white far away chart. And then the next few pages is the chart blown up. I don't even have to, it's pretty big. I can actually highlight this copy if I wanted to. I'm always afraid to highlight on my originals because what if I want to do it again? That is a possibility. At the Grimelkin, there was a pile of free charts. I think what happened, I think if I remember this correctly, the owner of the shop, Reese, she said somebody came in with a box of cross-stitch patterns and kits, maybe, I don't know. But he had lost his wife recently, and he didn't know where else to bring it. So he just wanted to make sure it had a good home. Well, I thought that was really kind of her to take them and, you know, just put them out when we had our little stitch group so people can go through them. And I found a few things. I got this great Smoky Mountain Cats. Now this is a Pegasus publication. I love that. I had a little, or I shouldn't say little, but once upon a time I had 2 little black kittens that I adopted, Jazz and Blues. And this reminds me of Blues. I think that'll be fun to do. It is, unfortunately, a big chart. I should always look before I pick things up. So I didn't, and I just picked it up, and now I'm like, oh dear. I'll have to copy this in sections and shrink it down. Finished. You can also do just a section of cats. If I did this whole thing on a 14 count, you're going to need a 20 by 16 piece of fabric. It's going to be their design area, though. They allow for a lot of room. So it's like 13 1/4 by 10 is the stitch area. That's on a 14. This is from 1992. So I think that's going to be nice. And I got this great old magazine, Simply Cross Stitch. Does it even have a date? Simply Cross Stitch, number 31. Hello, do I see a date? October 96. But I just love the front design. Never mind what's inside. I haven't even looked yet. Isn't that great? Elegant. They've got a vegetable collection in here. Oh my gosh, you guys. We came home, our garden exploded. Check out the loot that we got in a bucket yesterday. So tonight we're gonna have zucchini noodles and garlic and butter. Cute little witch. Things I'd never stitch. Butterfly garden with the butterflies in the corner. Probably won't do any other. Well, maybe there's a couple in here. I don't do mouse work. That's about it. I guess I should show you some of my cross stitch. I wasn't up at camp long enough to make a massive improvement on my wools, but I was working on my wools. And then I also put in some time to finish one copy or one ornament of a Satsuma Nevermore. So I just finished 2 cat-o'-lanterns. Now I have to do a second Nevermore. And I do have to say, it was not fun stitching black on black paper. How can I show this? Can you see it? I think you can see it. Ah, that's a dark color. It is striking when it's done. I think it looks more like a starling than a crow, but it is pretty. And I love the beads in the wings. I'll show how I finish these. Do you remember I put the felt on the back? So I'll trim this as much as I can, glue the felt, and then cut again, rather than try to line things up. I can't lose. This is the bag of what was left. So what I need to do now is to get another piece of black paper, make sure I have enough of the sequins and beads, or go through my stash and make sure I have enough floss. Oh, there's another pile. Happy Mail. I found this on Amazon too, and this was on sale. This is from Wonderland Crafts. Some things are on Amazon. Majority of their stuff is at their website. So this is one of their wooden ornaments with beads. Maybe I'll do like an unpacking of this and show you how easy it is to start these kits. So you do get the ornament with the holes already through them. It looks like there's just one. We'll unbox it together. I don't know if there's 2 pieces that you sandwich or if I'm just going to cover the back with felt. But I'm really excited about this. These kits are kind of pricey. So when I found it, I think I paid $22 for it. And I don't recall what the original price was, but it was something I wasn't gonna buy. Now, I don't know how this is working because this is wonderland-crafts.com, but it comes with this Wizardy. So are they buying from Wonderland Crafts to sell here directly? It's one little piece. Wizardy.com. I'm not sure because they are located in USA, but I would be cautious. I would check the first website, the Ukraine website, before I would order from a secondary hand. I've ordered things from these people before and it's been fantastic. I'm not sure who Wizardy is. Probably everybody's heard about them except for me. I'll do an unboxing of this. I'll leave it on my notes. Went up to the Crafty Grimalkin for our stitch group, which meets every 3rd Sunday. Boy, I hope I got that right. Every 3rd Sunday. And if you remember, my husband got me a gift card for my birthday. And then my friend Marie got me a gift card for my birthday. I should not be let loose in that store. So I had a little fun. I picked up some more. This is 18 count Celadon Zweigart. I love this green. It's so pretty. I guess it's like a celery, maybe a little smokier. And then if you look at it under a different light, it's more like a gray green, lighter gray green. It's a really pretty color. I picked up a 36 count Edinburgh linen. This is just so soft looking. It looked like butter. But I thought, I have a couple of different Christmas things that I want to do. So I thought I could get a couple on that piece. Oh, this is fun too. I got a scrap piece. Misty Blue Zweigart, 16 count. Can't go wrong. This must have been like an end piece. I was so glad she had this on the shelf. Especially since I love to do ornaments. But it's big enough for like a small 8x10 too. And then I finally picked up the Cottage Garden Wolf. This was released like July 1st. And here it is, end of July when I finally get it. I had to have it. I don't want to start him until I make some progress on my other wolves. I picked up the 2 classic colorworks that were needed. Trail Dust. It's probably just 1 skein that's needed, but I went ahead and grabbed 2 just to be sure. They're only 5-yard skeins, so I thought, yeah, I better get 2 just to be safe. And then the called for fabric is Legacy by Picture This Plus. I got Legacy 16 count. Not that I can remember if I did my turkey or another one on 16 count. It's just it's a comfy stitch for me. 16 count is a comfy. I can do that in front of the TV without killing my eyes. So I thought that would be a good match. Hopefully, when I do a floss toss with those whites, I'm not going to be disappointed. This might need to be a little bit darker. Sometimes the photo doesn't do what it should do. So I think that was all the stuff that I grabbed. Let's check in here. I think that was it. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering what I showed you guys and what I haven't. This was from Goodwill in Bangor. I was really happy. It didn't have this little piece of ribbon in it. I just brought that up. I think what I'm going to have to start doing is making a second DMC set to have at camp. I hate the thought of that because a whole set is probably going to take 5 of these, maybe 6. But I've run out of floss twice up there, and it's a I don't like that feeling. This was fun too. This I found in Bangor. It's just another great box for Christmas presents, so I don't have to use paper. Is it a Mary Engelbright? No. Featuring the artwork of Susan Wright. I thought it looked familiar, but is that a Hallmark? I don't know. I just thought it was cute. Believe it or not, probably August, September, I start sorting through what I bought over the year for Christmas and figuring out what box needs to go where with who. So this will be fun. Okay, last thing. I'm getting a dry throat. Lots of water. I went to the dump. Of course I went to the dump. I didn't find much. I think I've been hitting it at the wrong time. So instead of going like Sunday afternoon when people might have brought their stuff from the yard sale there, or early morning Tuesday, I went late Tuesday. Yes, late Tuesday. But I did find something really cool. It's a cookbook. And it's for clay pot cooking. And we have like 3 clay pots. They're called Romanoffs. And we do a lot of clay pot cooking in the fall and winter. So this is a whole cookbook. We have a couple of go-to recipes that we've done, but I was excited to find this. And I turned it around, and the label on here says that this was bought at LL Bean. I didn't even know they had cookbooks. LL Bean price was $13.90. So pretty excited. I don't think it's ever been used. Cookbooks are usually never stained or anything. Beautiful color photos, very simple 1-page descriptions. So I was so excited to find this. The Complete Guide to Clay Pot Cooking by Bridget Jones. If any of you have Romanoffs or clay pots, I would look for this on a secondhand market because this was really good. And then the other thing I found, which probably won't excite any of you, is an LP. Not just one. I think there's 3 in here. The original price is $15. Now, the only reason I brought this one home is because it says music of the 20s and 30s. And for whatever reason, I really love music from the 20s and 30s. And then I read a couple of the titles. On the Sunny Side of the Street, I know that one. When I Take My Sugar to Tea, I know that one. That's the Boswell sisters. Accompaniment by the Dorsey Brothers. Inka Dinka Doo, Jimmy Durante, with 6 hits and a miss. The Music Goes Round and Around, don't know that one. So I haven't even put it on my record player or my stereo yet. And then on the inside, or the flip side of that one, and it looks like, this one is When My Baby Smiles at Me, Ma, He's Making Eyes at Me, My Buddy by Bing Crosby, Frankie and Johnny by Mae West, You're the Cream in My Coffee, Les Brown, Happy Days Are Here Again, Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians. I'm excited for this. I don't even know it's on the other record. I couldn't care. I was like, whoo, 20s and 30s. And they're really nice looking. They're not scratched up. History and Rhythm and Blues on Broadway from 63 to 64. Could be good. This one needs some cleaning. But I saved it from the dump. It'll go in my collection after I put it on and probably bounce around the house and with glee. So I think that's going to be all for today, you guys. I have a lot of editing to do. I should do some show and tells, but I'll save them for the next video. I've got to make some videos because I don't know how long we're going to be up at camp. Our daughter's coming to visit. I know. So maybe I'll make a video with her. Maybe we'll be too busy. I don't know. We might be traveling when she's here. So I'm going to sign off. I've got a couple of videos at the end, and I can't remember what's what. So maybe I'll tack on some information at the end of the video. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy stitching and be safe.